Good morning, Neshoba County. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be on this historic stage. It is a true cornerstone of Mississippi politics, and as a Mississippi kid, this is just one of those core memories you're going to remember forever. My name is Greta Kemp, and I'm running to be your next Attorney General. I'm a lifelong Mississippian, raised in Tishomingo County, the daughter of a nurse and a police officer, a child of the Mississippi public school system, a graduate of Ole Miss and Mississippi College School of Law, and I have been a practicing attorney in this state for the last 13 years. 5 of which I've had the honor of being the litigation director for Disability Rights Mississippi, representing people with disabilities in all 82 counties. When I decided to run against Lynn Fitch for Attorney General, I did exactly what you would think an attorney would do before fully committing. I researched. I wanted to know exactly what our Attorney General had been doing since she was elected in 2019. And unfortunately, it was a short research project. It all started with the fact that no annual report has been filed by our Attorney General since 2018. No comprehensive summary of anything her office has done or accomplished. Then we learned from former AG employees how she unprofessionally dismantled the entire agency infrastructure left by her predecessors in the dark of night. And that was just the start. Mississippi is currently embroiled in one of the largest, most far-reaching scandals in its history. Tens of millions of dollars meant to go back into our communities, stolen, to build volleyball stadiums for NFL quarterbacks, and to make sure that our governor has a personal trainer to count his push-ups. Our state auditor and his office uncovered this scandal in 2021 and immediately referred it to our Attorney General. Immediately, she hired a private attorney on your dime, only to later fire that attorney and hire a law firm at 5 times the cost. Why, you might ask? Because I know I did. And the only reason I can give you is that that law firm is one of her top donors. I can't give you an answer otherwise. Especially when she claims, and will likely say here today, that she has a top-notch team of investigators and attorneys that you're already paying for that could have handled this mess. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, the idea of actually securing funds rightfully owed to the people of Mississippi is not something that she believes is her responsibility. Under the radar, she has settled Mississippi claims regarding Hurricane Katrina for pennies on the dollar, which is a far cry from General Jim Hood's record. Money that could have helped the coast and continued progress to restore that vital part of our economy. Instead, she spends her time promoting a false record on human trafficking cases when the prosecution rates and the incarceration records do not follow her narrative. The failures keep coming. In a state without a Department of Labor, one would hope that our AG's office would make sure that working Mississippians have adequate support and representation. Instead, she filed a lawsuit opposing a raise to the minimum wage for federal contractors. She's failed to investigate potential labor violations that recently killed a 16-year-old child. And she's decided to tell corporations, none of which operate in Mississippi, how to run their business. But that's okay, guys, don't worry. She's writing strongly worded letters to Target to protect us from t-shirts. Most recently, her fellow state leaders have wondered what she's up to. She certainly hasn't been helping Secretary of State Michael Watson enforce Tidelands leases, money that goes back into Mississippi bank accounts. She hasn't been defending public health, according to our state health officer, Dr. Dan Edney. In fact, she conceded a lawsuit that would protect vaccinations that your children take when they go back to school. And she hasn't been investigating campaign finance violations by Senator Chris McDaniel's campaign, even when your Lieutenant Governor, Delbert Hosemann, filed a complaint. Her calendar is just too full as she seeks permission to track Mississippians' health records across state lines. She's got way too much going on as she fights to rip away healthcare freedom and privacy. And she's just got too much going on while she inserts herself into the elections of other states without concerning herself with what's going on right here, right now, in this election cycle. But Lynn Fitch had a choice when you elected her in 2019. She had a choice to be a true people's lawyer, or she could be a politician. And it is very clear the path she chose. But that's who she is. I'm going to tell you who I am, because it's very likely she's going to get up here and try to define me. She hasn't got much else to talk about. But unlike her, I don't let other people or my party define who I am. The simple fact is, I'm a gun-owning daughter and granddaughter of law enforcement officers. In fact, my father is running in the Republican primary for sheriff of Tishomingo County, and he's going to be the best sheriff that county's ever seen. I'm a Mississippian that believes that people have enough sense to make their own health care decisions, whether I agree with them or not. And I believe that the government should stay the heck out of our medical records. I'm an attorney who has a history of representing individuals across this state in front of judges and juries, and whose public service agenda will include common sense advocacy that will benefit you, Mississippians. And believe it or not, I'm someone that believes when you get hired for a job, you show up. I'm someone who could give two licks about party affiliation when it comes to the application of law and equitable justice. And I'm someone that believes in Mississippi and her people, and I'm ready to step into battle for you. With me, among other things, you'll get a fair labor division in the AG's office, focused on supporting Mississippi workers. You'll get an advocate for the law enforcement community, because I spent my entire life watching my father put on a badge, and it's high time we get an AG that respects that badge. You'll get a stronger and more expansive prosecution of elder and vulnerable adult cases, not just tackling robocall schemes one by one, but someone that will prosecute those that verbally and physically and financially abuse our most vulnerable populations. You'll get a swifter prosecution rate and stronger oversight of state agencies and our state leaders, because you deserve it. And you'll get an attorney that will run toward the work and not shy away from it. And for our state leaders that are here today, you'll get someone that'll actually return your phone calls when you or your office need counsel from the state's law firm. You'll get an attorney general who will focus on more than just one case, because no matter what your position is on Dobbs, my opponent told us she had a plan after spending millions of our dollars on her flashy media tour and her high-dollar PR firm. She told us she had a plan for maternal leave. She told us she had a plan for improving maternal health care. And she told us she had a plan to improve child care and other services for mothers and families. But Mississippi has been left with shallow victories and empty promises once again. You should have more than one feather in your cap after 4 years of service. And if that's all you have, you should be fired. And if you're doing the work, you should be committed to transparency year-round, informing those that elected you what you're doing, not just during an election year. And honestly, not just at the Neshoba County Fair. You should show up every time there's a podium and tell your people what you're doing. You should spend more time on issues in this state where you were elected, rather than traipsing around the country and telling other states how to construct their policies. And I should not have to keep reminding people that Lynn Fitch, not Jim Hood, is our current Attorney General, because you have in no way made any impact in this state. So on November 7th, I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote. And I'm asking you to elect Greta Kemp Martin for Attorney General, and let's return the AG's office back to the people of Mississippi.